What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary. This is going to be a standard battle on Live Oaks, and I am driving my IS-4. Now, I am kind of playing games with the enemy team, saying I only have the stock gun, and the enemy IS-4 saying good. You know, having a little bit of those mind games, little witty banter, trying to get in the enemy's head a little bit, but also just kind of having my own brand of fun here. Now, the 8.7, this isn't 8.7 replay, mind you. Replay does have a bit of a glitch. One of you commented on my previous video that Quickie Baby made a video about how to fix this, but I couldn't find it. I looked on his profile, I looked in his video history, I tried doing a search for something along the lines of 8.7 replay or glitch or something like that. Nothing came up. So I'm going to be in third person for all the 8.7 replays I have. Now, Spangles, you live in Australia. Apparently someone asked me if I live in Australia. I guess they know someone. I don't even want to begin to guess. But anyway, again, if you are wondering where I have been, just as I said in my previous video, there will be an update video either uploaded before this video makes its debut on my channel or sometime shortly after, so go check that out if you want to know what's going on with replays and that, and me and so forth. Now, an enemy T-54 making an early appearance, a 704 on our team drowning himself. Very expertly played, sir. Well done. You are definitely, clearly a skilled player and totally not a noob in any way whatsoever. Now, I'm being a bit harsh here, a bit bitingly sarcastic. I don't really know what happened. He could have lagged out and driven into the water accidentally. You never really have any control on that. Right here, this enemy T-54 getting a good solid hit. Now, ever since the gold rounds became you could purchase them now with silver, a lot of T-54s I see are running gold rounds, heat rounds, mind you. So I don't really, right here, this is the glitch I'm talking about. So it's kind of just safe to assume that T-54s are using heat rounds. There we go, got it back. And this double T-54 team is going to be causing some problems for my team a bit later down the road. Right here, the VV4202 causing me a bit of issue, hitting me in the track for damage and making my turning a bit more slower. There was no artillery in case I know I failed to mention it, but in case you failed to notice, I kind of just assume there's not going to be artillery a lot of times now with how bad arty has been nerfed. Now, this T-54 tracking me right out in the open for him and his ally, and right here I'm getting hit for damage yet again, forcing me to make the hard call to use a top-of-the-line repair kit, a large repair kit, and throwing 20,000 credits out the window to get out of the line of fire. Now, our IS-7, bit of a hard spot here, trying to fight this enemy IS-4 and this object 704 and a one-on-one, but it is no longer I said one-on-one, two-on-one, but it is now a two-on-two, trying to help him out any way I can. However, I am a potential one-shot for that 704, so I have to be a bit cautious here. I also can't be driving out in the open for fear of running into that Yog Tiger or T-95 up on the hill over there. Now, I do have 6th Sense on my IS-4. I'm probably going to retrain my crew to eventually get rid of that. As a heavy tank, I find 6th Sense kind of useless, honestly. It's easier just to assume I'm spotted all the time, and especially with a tank that has such a poor camo value, such as the IS-4 right there bouncing a shot off that 704. I should probably be aiming my shells a little bit better. It might help me out a bit. Now, this enemy IS-4 trying to pull out, but we're both going to bounce shots right off each other. Angling armor for the win, as well as gun inaccuracy. The enemy IS-4 trying to back up and get away. He's going to take another hit, and then I will finish him off. This enemy 704 not doing too hot for himself, in a bad spot here with the rest of my team kind of moving up on him, especially that 268. My team having a comfortable 3-tank lead and a strong push in the south. It looks like we're going to be able to overwhelm them, but we will see if that continues to pan out. Now, I'm falling back a bit here, the 704 saying defend base with the T-54s still over in that little residential area. I don't know what else to call it. It is essentially a little residential area. And the Lorraine 40-ton getting a bit cheeky here, trying to get on our IS-7's backside and simply getting eliminated by me. And who else shot him? That STI. So Russian teamwork for the win. And the 704 really not going to live much longer with an IS-7 and 268 breathing down his neck. Now, we have lost pretty much our comfortable 3-tank lead. We're down to only a 1-tank lead at this point, and our STI looking like he might get eliminated here if he's not careful. And you have to keep in mind, we actually don't have any tank lead at all. Well, now we have a 1-tank lead, but that scoreboard is misleading because our 704 drowned himself. So this T-54 really going to be a problem somewhat, knocking him down just a little bit there. 467 on the hit, definitely going to assist in simply removing him from this game, making him a non-factor. The other T-54 still alive somewhere over in that residential area, or maybe he fell back, I'm not sure. T-95 getting spotted on that hill. He's going to be a bit problematic considering there is no artillery to take him out, so as long as he can keep his frontal armor facing towards us, he is going to continue to be a high priority threat. Another good high damage roll. Actually, that was a bit of a low roll. The average gun damage on the IS-4 is 440, but a good hit nonetheless on that T-54, making him a potential one-shot now for my gun. The Tiger II and T-95 still kind of keeping me at bay. I don't want to pull out in front of either of them, sacrificing hit points needlessly. However, the Tiger II taking a good hit there, making him fall back a bit, and going to basically remove him from the game for a short while. Now the enemy T-95 still doing his best to watch the city, maintain nothing more than a 1-tank lag behind with his team, and our team pinging the residential area yet again saying, hey, there's tanks there. I'm like, I am well aware, thank you very much, and I pinged the T-95 saying, that's pretty much why I'm not moving. The enemy team very much in a spot to still pull this off right here. I get a little bit risky and pull my back end out to try and shoot that T-95. Not exactly sure what I was thinking there, but it was an unnecessary risk nonetheless. But this T-54 trying to get a shot on him, just hoping he will expose himself for a split second. The AUG Tiger getting spotted way in the back of their base, and I guess trying to provide flanking support for his T-95 ally. But our 103 getting a bit aggressive here, charging towards that T-54 and his buddy. And the Tiger II getting spotted, making a run for our base. The M103 probably going to be able to get a shot off on him, and hopefully I'll be able to get a shot off on this T-54. Going to attempt to, however, my shot will go wide and miss, not exactly hitting where intended. Tiger II making his way continually towards our base. Our southern push, if you have not been paying attention to the minimap, has been completely decimated at this point. 3 medium tanks closing in on our TD there. The T-54 managing to finish off that 103 and having only 8 hit points left. He is hurting a guaranteed one shot, even if I was using high explosive rounds. He is just out of this match. He might get off another shot for damage on me before I eliminate him. However, that's simply not going to be the case. He's going to basically be contending with a decently health-wise IS-4 as I make an effort to get back to our base and stop this Tiger II from capping. Now, I'm ignoring the T-54 in favor of eliminating the Tiger II, which I will proceed to do right here. Solid hit for the rest of his health. I don't even think I can hit below 300, but it was a very likely chance that I was going to one-shot him. Same with this T-54. It's almost guaranteed that my next shot will eliminate him. There we go. T-54 removed from the match. T-95 having fallen back into the swampish area of this map. Not quite sure why he did that. However, I don't think it was that wise of a decision. I'm loading heat rounds now simply due to the fact of it is clutch time. We are still maintaining in only a 1-tank lead, and that T-95 is going to be problematic. Yes, it is a 1-tank lead, but we still have 3 of our tier 10s, all of our tier 10s actually. There was only 3 tier 10s per team this match, and we are going to continually try to just solidify our victory. Like I said, loading heat rounds due to facing a T-95. I want the best chance possible of penetrating his quite formidable armor. There we go, get a nice solid hit on him, and going to quickly turn my attention towards our base here as this T-44 attempts to capture. I'm switching back to standard AP rounds and hoping to get a shot on this T-44 who just bounces off me. VB4202, definitely a one-shot for me, but I've got to hit him first. Definitely going to make me a bit more cautious in approaching our base. Not really too concerned. Ooh, there's a good solid hit. He is loaded HESH round certainly, and it will be the last round he fires. Now, HESH pretty much functions like high explosive, but has high penetration as well, so it has a good chance of getting through your armor and doing the maximum damage. However, even if it doesn't, you still can hit them like a normal high explosive round for damage. Right here, our base getting captured out, 45% captured, and continually, unless I can reset him, we are not going to win this. Right here, I load high explosive rounds, and in order to get a guaranteed reset, now you're going to see something a little bit different here, a more, I don't even know, more unique use. Right here, I couldn't hit him, so I just hit the ground next to him. That was entirely intentional, using the splash on the high explosive round to actually reset the cap. That's just a fact of the matter right there, is saying, you know, high explosive, it doesn't really do as much damage, and honestly, it's really a very limited use of effectiveness round. But in cases like this where you need a cap reset, even if you cannot hit the tank in question, if they're hiding behind an enemy tank like that T-44 was, you just simply shoot the ground and get splash damage. It's not a very large splash radius, so you have to hit exactly right next to them. However, it will still reset. So maybe if you didn't know, HE, that's one of the proper uses. A lot of people try to use it as a standard round, and some vehicles are capable of doing it, but not many. Honestly, unless you're a high damage tank destroyer or an artillery, I do not recommend using HE is a standard round. You're going to do far less damage than you would using AP and shooting those weak spots on a tank. Yes, some tanks have really low pen on their rounds, and some tanks have really high armor, so you kind of got to pick and choose your battles there, but that's kind of what gold rounds are for. Now, I'm not a strong advocate of using gold rounds as standard rounds unless the tank absolutely demands it. I'm kind of on the fence on whether the T-54 requires it. The T-69, I played that tank. I used AP rounds as standard. I was not using heat, but unless I was fighting like an IS-4, mind you. But I feel like using gold rounds as standard rounds makes you a worse player. Not simply because you rely on them, you don't really learn how to play the game, so to speak, and it just makes you a better player when you have to play at a disadvantage and still do just as well. It's just, you get in that mindset of having to be better to function at the same level as if you're using gold rounds. But I digress from my little semi-rant. I wouldn't call it a rant. I wasn't really getting all that hot-blooded about it. However, this has been a pretty good replay. I would say so. 6 kills. That's pretty respectable. I did manage to get steel wall as well. Had a very impressive base defense going there. As, you know, doing a good job to keep my team ahead. 15-10. That was pretty close. Honestly, it was more like 15-11 because our 704 drowned himself. I'm kind of curious to know how well our team would have done if that 704 had survived, if our southern push would have succeeded. However, there is no way of knowing, you know, what ifs. I don't really like to dwell on them that much because they're kind of pointless most of the time. However, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you've got a replay, check the description for information on how to submit that. I'm probably going to be updating that soon. Anyway, this has been Spang, and I am signing off.